Hey everyone, Terry Vanover. Hi, great to see you today. I'm Terry Vanover and I'm a divorce strategist, and I help you come through divorce without being legally, financially, and emotionally devastated. But even more importantly, I help you to heal from your divorce so that you don't repeat the mistakes that you make, and so that you can transition confidently into that next phase of your life. So today we're talking about forgiveness, and I'm going to talk about what forgiveness is and what it isn't, and how it can really help you move forward. It's really probably one of the most powerful healing tools that you can do that can transform your life. So if you are carrying around negative emotions and toxic emotions, it is vital that you get rid of them. Because here's the thing, if you're going around and you're not trusting and you're angry and you're holding on to that, first off, it's going to ruin the relationships in your life. You're not going to attract a truly healthy, happy partner if you're holding on to anger and resentment and bitterness. You're automatically going to repel happy, outgoing, healthy people. But not only that, it creates distance in your relationships. I know for me, I was holding on to some anger and bitterness from a relationship that someone had did some bad things to me. And, not only did it create distance between my husband and I, but also between my kids and I, because my children actually picked up on that anger and bitterness, and they sensed that there was some distance. And you know what? I did not want that. I wanted to be open and loving and have them not feel that there's a distance there energetically. There was really, truly a distance there. And I wanted to let that go. And not only that, holding on to this stuff and holding on to this toxic emotions, these toxic feelings, it can affect you physically. Anger, depression, it can lead to health problems. You can become chronically in pain. It leads to heart disease, especially in women. It leads to heart disease. So if you're holding on to this stuff, not only are you're affecting the relationships with those that you love the most, you're affecting your relationship with yourself. You're also, not at your best physically. It can affect you physically and take its toll on you mentally and physically. So it's vital that you do what you can to be at your healthiest and emotionally the best that you can be. And here's another thing. When you let go of this, you open your heart to so much more. You open your heart to love, and you're open to receiving energy that's positive and good and receptive to all the love and light in this world, because you've let go of all those negative emotions, the anger, the bitterness, the toxic feelings. And if you think for 1 second that if you have children, that they don't pick up on like the hatred and bitterness that you feel towards your ex, you're deluding yourself. So again, you're creating that distance between you and the people that you love the most. And if you have children with your ex, they pick up on that. And there's an energetic sense that, gosh, if she's angry with him, she's angry with me. Or if he's angry with her, he's angry with me. Because your children are a part of your ex-partner. So it's important that you heal that so that you don't bring that into your relationship with your kids. So let's talk about what is forgiveness. So forgiveness, I'm going to define that because I get a lot of pushback on what forgiveness is. And I want to define that very specifically for you. Forgiveness is letting go of the toxic feelings and toxic emotions that someone else may have given you and you're carrying around. Can even be toxic feelings and emotions that you are carrying around that you gave to yourself. For me, I struggled with a lot of shame and guilt after my divorce. So I did the forgiveness exercise. There's a specific forgiveness exercise that I give my clients. It's a very specific template that Jack Canfield gave to me. And it takes you through this process. And I did it on myself because I recognized I was carrying a lot of shame and guilt from my role in my divorce. So it allows you to consciously release those feelings. So what it is not allowing someone who's toxic back into your life. It doesn't mean, oh, I love this person now. No, that's not what it means. Oh, I'm going to forget everything they ever did to me. No, that's not what it's about. It is about letting go of holding on to those feelings that are just poisoning you. Have you heard that analogy, right? Holding on to not forgiving is akin to holding on to poison, or taking poison and expecting the other person to die. And I'm a good example of this, and I'm going to tell you why soon, because I have a different analogy too, right? So, it's not that you have to put your healthy boundaries down. You don't have to talk to that person. You don't have to let that person back in your life. It's just you are consciously letting go of the feelings that they gave to you, perhaps. And so it allows you to open up your heart space for other things. So there's a specific template that I use with my clients, right? And it asks you to analyze what the feelings were, what the fear was. And what I love about it is that it allows me really to go deep with why I'm holding on to those toxic feelings, right? It can actually be kind of like you kind of feel like it protects you in some sense. So this exercise takes you step by step through looking at what was the fear behind that, reframing that. You become more compassionate with yourself and more compassionate with the other person that you're holding on to those feelings for, and helping you to reframe that in a sense, right? And so it just allows you to go deeper, deeper, deeper beyond that anger and that hurt and that pain, and get to the root of that, get to those fears, get to those resentment, get even deeper. And I love it every time I do it. Wow, I get to that fear part. It really helps me to understand why I was holding on to that. And when I understand that and acknowledge that, then we can let that go. And and it's a process too, right? You don't have to forgive right away. And again, I'm a great example of this. I had an incident in my life a year ago, and I held on to the anger for a while, and I went deep. I went into my meditation, and I looked beyond that anger. I went below that anger. I did all the exercises. I did a lot on that. I did a lot of self-reflection, right? And I got in tune with myself and knew when I was ready, because sometimes when things are fresh, you don't have to do the forgiveness exercise right at the beginning of an incident. You have to wade through some of the other emotions. And this is almost like a final step of release. And then you're free, right? It's amazing. So, what I learned was I was holding on to the anger, and I actually was kind of consciously saying, I'm not forgiving this person. And I kind of recognized, and I had been through all the other steps. I'd put myself through the meditation and getting still with myself and going beneath that pain and beyond the hurt and back to my powerlessness and all this stuff. And I was like, I knew I was ready to forgive when I had recognized, oh, T, you're holding on to that emotional turd. Like, it's time to let that emotional turd go, because that's what it is. That's what anger, bitterness, resentment is. It's just icky, nasty feelings. And sometimes we hold on to that turd, like, I'm not forgiving her. I'm not forgiving him. And all you're doing is just getting your own hands dirty. And when I came to that awareness myself, and I said, Lord, I just want to put this down. I don't want to carry this turd anymore. I'm ready to let it go. I've processed all that. I'm ready to be free and loving and light, and no longer have that distance with my children anymore. And it's just so freeing. It's just so wonderful. So I would invite you to think about it, and think about forgiveness and how it can really, really improve your life in a way that you're not even aware of. Again, I do this exercise even in my relationship with my husband. It's like an ongoing thing with me that he's not even aware of, but it's so helpful for me, because I'm not holding on to any resentments against him. I'm letting those go pretty quickly so that I don't hold on to those and they fester and they create distance between us. And I love it. So listen, if you want some more tips on forgiveness and healing strategies, reach out to me. I'm happy to give you a complimentary call, and we can talk about the specific healing strategies that will help you find a happy, healthy relationship and bring the light back into your life and help you heal after your divorce. Love to talk to you. So I'm Terry Vanover. It's great talking with you. If I don't see you tonight at our online meeting, I'll see you next week. If you don't have information for that meeting, feel free to reach out to me as well, and I'm happy to talk with you tonight. All right, see you tonight or next week. All right, take care.